Good evening and welcome to the channel's studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. The Israeli military says it's carried out a targeted strike on the Lebanese capital Beirut after Hezbollah fired more than 100 rockets into Israel. Lebanon's health ministry says 3 people have been killed and 17 injured in the attack on a suburb in southern Beirut. Here, fires burning in the Israeli-occupied Golan Heights after rockets launched from Lebanon. It comes after more than 30 people were killed in a series of exploding device attacks on Hezbollah members earlier in the week, which were widely blamed on Israel.
We are all very, very clear that we want to see a negotiated political settlement so that Israelis can return to their homes in northern Israel, and indeed Lebanese can return to their homes. And that's why tonight I'm calling for an immediate ceasefire from both sides so that we can get to that settlement, that political settlement that's required.
Ukraine's victory plan in the war against Russia depends on quick decisions being taken by allies this year. That's according to President Volodymyr Zelensky. Mr. Zelensky singled out the importance of US President Joe Biden to the victory plan, which he said the two leaders will discuss when they meet. The Ukrainian leader is traveling to the United States next week. Ursula von der Leyen announced that the EU will grant a loan of up to 35 billion euros to help Ukraine, to help the country stuck in a grinding war with Russia. US Vice President Kamala Harris has spoken of her willingness to use her gun if an intruder entered her home.
You have guns? No, at the debate.
I'm a gun owner. Tim
I did not know that.
If somebody breaks in my house, they're getting shot.
After a laugh, the Democratic presidential nominee continued, "I probably shouldn't have said that, but my staff will deal with that later." Harris, who highlighted during the recent presidential debate that she was a gun owner, went on to reiterate that she supported a ban on assault weapons.
This is not the sign of a civil society, and it doesn't have to be this way. It does not have to be this way. Everyone should have a sense of collective responsibility for the children of our community.
Yes.
And understand their right to live and be safe.
The killing of a Japanese schoolboy in the Chinese city of Shenzhen has sparked worry among Japanese expats living in China, with top firms warning their workers to be vigilant. Toshiba and Toyota have told their staff to take precautions against any possible violence, while Panasonic is offering its employees free flights home. Japanese authorities have repeated their condemnation of the killing while urging the Chinese government to ensure the safety of their citizens. The stabbing of the 10-year-old boy on Wednesday was the 3rd high-profile attack on foreigners in China in recent months. Over 12,000 households in northern Thailand have suffered from heavy flooding. That's according to the country's Ministry of Interior after heavy rainfall from a tropical depression. Drone footage captured in Thailand's northern Chiang Rai province showed residential areas and surrounding fields inundated following flash floods that struck the region. The Office of National Water Resources, as well as the Department for Disaster Prevention and Mitigation, posted warnings for flash floods in several northern provinces, including Chiang Rai. Lawyers for women who accuse the billionaire and former Harrods boss Mohammed Al Fayed of sexual abuse say he was a monster and a predator who was enabled by the luxury department store.
Who we say was enabled by an unsafe system of work.
They say Harrods have full culpability for the abuse, as a victim described unnecessary and intrusive medical examinations for female employees. Mr. Al Fayed, who died last year, aged 94, owned Harrods between 1985 and 2010. And the pop star Kylie Minogue has announced her biggest world tour in more than a decade and a sequel to her comeback album, Tension. The 13 tracks on Tension 2 will be released on the 18th of October, with the global tour kicking off in her home country, Australia, in February, before swinging through Asia and the UK. In a statement, the pop icon said she is beyond excited to be celebrating the Tension era and more with fans. 20 dates have been announced so far, but Minogue said more are coming. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the channel's studios in Lagos.